Hello, my name is Leon. Welcome to another reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we're going to be reading Vampires of Vvardenfell, Volume 1. Excerpts. The violent antipathy of Morrowind culture towards necromancy ensures that vampires are virtually unknown in Morrowind. The temple does not acknowledge the existence of Western vampire hunting orders. Nonetheless, interviews with temple officials persuade me that the Dunmer of Morrowind are experienced and knowledgeable in the handling of these menaces. On the other hand, they freely admit that even a large community of vampires might easily escape detection in the remote wastelands, or in the subterranean labyrinths of the abandoned strongholds and wizard towers. The Ash vampire of Ashlander legend is not undead. Sorceries and blessings affecting the undead reportedly have no effect on these creatures. No specimen has ever been examined, and no references have ever linked these legends with the known clans of Tamrielic vampires. Vvardenfell's three known bloodlines differ greatly in their approach to prey. The Quora bloodline features exceptional strength and endurance, and attacks in a state of aesthetic frenzy. Undead vampires are potent spellcasters, seeking to hypnotize victims before feeding, while the swift and agile Burn clan vampires prefer stealth and ambush, first poisoning the victim with a bite, then withdrawing to a safe distance, returning to feed only when the prey has weakened. That last type is basically Komodo dragons. It is supposed that vampirism is contracted from wounds received from a vampire. Since few victims survive vampiric attacks or feedings, the process of contracting the disease is little understood. Some have suggested that victims may willingly submit themselves to the will of a vampire, but no real evidence of that exists. During the incubation phase, lasting up to 72 hours, the vampirism disease exhibits no symptoms, and may be cured by general spellcraft or cult blessing. However, during incubation, some victims have reported sleep disturbances and troubling dreams. After symptoms are exhibited, however, the disease is incurable and irreversible. That was Vampires of Vvardenfell, Volume 1. That is a very short book. Should we just read the second volume as well? I'm going to read the second volume as well, because that's really short compared to what the books we've been reading recently. This is only like 4 pages either. Alright, Vampires of Vvardenfell, Volume 2. Excerpts. In the West, the shadowy fraternity of vampire hunters is believed to be primarily composed of formerly afflicted vampires who had been cured of the disease. According to legend, the vampire hunters refused to reveal the cure to the disease for fear that it might encourage depraved thrill-seekers from deliberately inflicting themselves. That's me! In the East, that's the West, right? In the East, the Western tradition of vampire hunters is unknown. Vampirism is known to be incurable, and even if it were curable, a cured vampire would be an abomination to be destroyed. Since the disease is infallibly cured if treated within 3 days, failure to treat oneself after an encounter with a vampire would be considered a deliberate attempt to contract the disease, and a mark of monstrous depravity. In temple doctrine, one ancient tradition holds that among his many other crimes, Molag Bal, the father of monsters, spawned the first vampire upon the corpse of a defeated foe. Several different versions of the story exist, with the foe variously identified as a Danger Lord, a temple saint, or a powerful beast creature. This account of the origin of vampirism is particular to Morrowind, appearing nowhere else in Imperial lore. Unfortunately, scholarly inquiry upon this topic is discouraged by the temple, which controls access to the only substantial collection of historical and cultural records in Morrowind. Though the Dunmer believe the disease is incurable, a buoyant armonger of former years named Gaudio Rithri, I know that name, insisted that he was cured by vampirism. Initially imprisoned by the temple for heresy, he later recanted, was released and served his final years as a librarian in the Hall of Wisdom in Vivek. It is interesting that previous to his imprisonment for heresy, Rithri had been posted as buoyant armonger garrison at Baal-Ur, a pilgrimage site known as the birthplace of Molag Bal. Interesting. Do you have that book? I do, actually. I'm not going to read it now. I might read it tomorrow, because I was going to read part 2 tomorrow, but they got a book. Where's book? Book. So, I think it's in here. Actually, I think it's on my person. Is it? Hang on a second. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's him. You want to read it now? No, I'll read it tomorrow. We'll read it tomorrow. Otherwise, the title of this video will get too long. So, we will read, because that kind of, follows, and I think there's a quest related to that too. Is there? I think so. Alright, well, we might read that tomorrow. Is there a quest related to that? There's nothing in my journal about it. Really? Okay. Where'd you find that book? I don't remember. Right, well. Oh no, there it is. I found some papers by buoyant armonger Garrothri. In them he gives hints as to how vampirism can be cured. It suggests that the cure may be obtained with the help of a dangerous prince, perhaps Molag Bal. So that's a quest, dude. That's straight up a quest. Does it have a name? A cure for vampirism. Well, I gotta be a vampire first. But we'll read that tomorrow. Okay. Great. So, Happy New Year. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be Happy New Year for me. But yeah, Happy New Year. And I'll see you tomorrow for the continuation of our journeys in Morrowind. But for now, my name is Leo, and I'll see you next time.